And we're live. I think we're alive. I think we're alive. Okay. Good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry for the late start. Bugger arms house behind the scenes. Trying to figure out some things. Hold on, let me just check if we're up and running. Yeah, we're up and running. There you go, we're up and running. All right, so guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. We're chopping up the Nations League. We're chopping up the Nations League. And I have a very special guest with me who has something she wants to share with you guys. Crystal, you tell them. You tell them. You tell them.
Oh wow, you dropped me right in it. I like that. Okay, I like that. That was slick. I like that.
You tell them, Crystal.
I never knew you had it in you. I like it. It's going to be a long journey ahead for both of us. I like where I stand, and I like
All right.
knowing where I stand with people.
You tell them. First of all, before we go, you're hearing like a feedback?
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
feedback, but I think that was my apologies. No, I caused that just then.
okay,
Sorry
okay,
about that, guys.
cool.
If you heard that feedback, my apologies.
All right, so everything
Yes,
is clear with you. You're
everything
not
should
hearing a
be
feedback
nice
now.
and no, there shouldn't be a feedback. It was me. I literally pressed the wrong button there, and I gave myself a feedback. So sorry about that, guys. Yes. So
I, I will
my
tell them. You want me to tell them?
listen, you can. I'm
All
still
right.
gonna get you back though, but you definitely can.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Crystal Davis from Talawa TV and the extremely handsome Formula from the Formula Sports channel,
Facts.
we are doing a collaboration, a collaborative effort between Crystal and myself. So you're gonna see a lot more of this going forward, hopefully in the future. If you notice, some of you may notice, some of you may not, but we're actually streaming on both our platforms at the same time. Seeing? So big moves. Um, Tajay Scott, big up, big up. What's happening, Tajay? Yeah, so we're streaming to both our platforms at the same time, and we're gonna be doing a lot more of this going forward with Crystal and I working together, and both of us streaming at the same time to each other's platform. And I expect a lot more projects to come from both of us in the future. I don't know. Have I done it justice, Crystal?
You've done it beautifully well. I don't think I could have done a better job. So thank you for that. You've lifted the weight off my shoulders. So thank you. I appreciate it.
So nothing more to add.
No, I think you've pretty much covered all grounds with that. Kept it short and sweet. Gave them all the necessary information, and yeah, let's just hope that it goes well. I hope they can hear us clearly on both of our platforms. If you're watching over on my platform, let me know how the audio sounds. I think you might have to mute yourself, Formula.
Oh,
Um,
you're hearing it now.
just a little bit. It's faint, but usually when it starts off faint, it gets a little bit like worse as time goes on. So, yeah. Let me know how I sound over on my platform if you're watching from my platform, guys. Hopefully everything sounds well and there's no feedback. If there is any feedback there, then do let us know. And obviously, we do what we can to fix it for you. So, welcome to history. You guys are part of something historic. So, thank you for tuning in.
Historic on both, and historic from the standpoint of in our respective space, where I don't think I've ever seen anybody do something like what we're doing right now. So it is pretty much a unique experience. So guys, talk to us in the comment section and just work with us a bit here if anything seems off or anything doesn't seem 100%, because we did a small troubleshoot a couple of days ago, but I mean, this is the first time we're doing a full blown live. So, just bear with us if and work with us and tell us if, everything is not up to 100% or anything like that. All right. So, the first thing I want to do in our collaborative effort is ask Crystal her thoughts. Well, Wayne said, I don't see the live postings. What you mean, Wayne Harris? Explain that. What do you mean by that, Wayne? Explain that. Put some more context to it for us, Wayne, so we can understand what you're referring to. But yeah, man, so we're gonna kickstart our collaborative effort by talking about the game that would have taken place last night between the Jamaica Reggae Boys and Mexico. I did not get a chance to watch Talawa's live stream because I was doing mine. So I genuinely do not know Crystal's thoughts on this particular game. So Crystal, I would love to hear your thoughts on what took place yesterday.
Good evening, guys, in the comment section. I almost forgot my manners. Again, thank you so much for tuning into myself and Formula Sports, and hopefully you'll enjoy tonight's live stream. We're going to be dissecting yesterday's 1-1 draw against the Mexicans, and also looking back at the other group games there where Suriname is concerned, both the away fixture and the reverse fixture. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. With regards to last night's game, we it was an interesting match. We had, I think, Mexico started off within the last with the first minute or so. They were obviously knocking on our doors, and you probably would have thought that this is going to be a long match, especially when you see that save there from Blakey, the brick wall between the sticks, and getting that early opener, that lovely bit of header there from Leon Bailey. I think that's put a little spring in our steps. And looking at the game last night, I was thinking, electric start from both teams, and perhaps on this occasion I think the 12th man played dividends, considering all the drama or the chaos or the internal affairs that's taking place behind closed doors where the federation's concerned. It was good to see that the boys, the team, were utilizing the efforts of the 12th man to go out there and give a good account of themselves. But it is Mexico, whether it's a fully strengthened Mexican side or whether it's a depleted Mexican side, you kind of know what to expect. So when their equalizer came on the stroke of halftime, I was saying over on my live stream that I literally felt the goal before it went in. And to be fair to the Mexican, they were knocking on our door. Like I said, from early doors through to the equalizer. Little bit of a scruffy game here and there, scruffy moments, I should say, here and there from both sides. It does tell a lot when you see the Mexicans going for the ankles of Leon Bailey. That kind of tells you all you need to know about their game plan and them trying to stop us in our track. But I thought it was a good game. Perhaps a fair result in the end when you analyze how the game started, when you analyze the give and take and all the chances created from both ends. Safe to say that our goalkeeper, the skipper, Andre Blake, definitely kept us in that game.
Everybody who said that we need an upgrade to Blake, be careful what you wish for. Andre Blake was outstanding in
Mm.
yesterday's game. Absolutely outstanding, right? And in every aspect of his game, his distribution was good, and his shot stopping ability was on full display for everyone to see. Me personally, I wasn't the most impressed. I thought we had a dreadful first half, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Thought we had a dreadful, dreadful first half.
It's
Thought
interesting that you say that. I'm sorry to cut you off because I spoke to you. I can't remember where we spoke. I don't know. We spoke at one point, and I think I caught the ending of your preview before the game. And I believe I heard you saying that we would win that one. I don't know if you gave a score prediction, but I remember you vaguely saying that we would win that one. So I was like, how's Formula feel at the end of full time?
No, I mean that was me being optimistic, and going from the heart, and it was really and truly giving me basically saying what I would have wanted or what I hoped for within the context of what I thought was realistic, what could happen, but I didn't want to be negative, but it was always gonna be difficult for us to win that particular game in
Mm,
all
mm,
in all fairness.
mm.
Um Gregory Reed, I am Jamaican happy. Okay. Okay,
Good
cool.
evening, Mr. Reed, and also Pager as well. My apologies there, guys. Good evening to yourself.
So I take it that Mr. Reed is very, very elated with what took place last night. I thought the result was the best that we could have hoped for.
Mm,
That was my opinion. I kind of felt it had a draw written all over it, but I still was going with the heart and saying, we could nick it, we could sneak it. And if the Mexicans didn't make that very good save on the line, or if the bar did not come into play, we could have,
mm.
but the Mexicans could have nicked it as well. If we're being real and honest, man. I don't
100%.
know. Did you see the first half as terribly as I saw it?
I didn't think it was terrible. There were moments that it looked a little bit shaky, especially when you're picking up yellow cards so early on into the game, and you look at the likes of Jamoy Topi, Amari Bell, and also um, Damian Lowe as well. So at one point in the game, we had three defenders from our back line sitting on yellow card, and that kind of made me a little bit anxious. I was looking and I was thinking, if the gaffer is going to make a substitution, surely he's going to aim for one of his defenders, because essentially, if they had made the wrong move or an irrational challenge, that would have been them out the game, and they would have had to, play the game with 10 men. But I don't think that it was like think you might have to mute again, Formula. I don't think it was like an atrocious first half. But it was okay. It was electrifying, quick start from the Mexican, but we obviously responded with we provided a response to their electric start by getting the opening goal inside the 4th minute, and I thought that was quite pleasing. So I definitely don't think it was just a poor first half. It's exactly what we bargained for when you're going up against one of your fierce rivals.
Man, I thought the first half was dreadful from the Reggae Boys Crystal. Honestly, I thought it was.
What didn't you like about it? Because maybe I'm just looking at it
I
completely different.
think
What did you
I
like?
think we're disorganized in defensive transition. I think we struggle
Mm,
to play out from the back. I
mm,
think we're disorganized in defensive transition. I think Kevin Lambert was all over the flipping place.
mm,
He was all over the place in the middle of the park. The middle was wide open at times, and he was putting Speedy and a lot of pressure on both sides of the ball. Topi as well was dreadful. Poor covering, poor tracking. Topi was literally asleep in the game, in my humble opinion. So
mm.
yeah, it wasn't a good game for me. It wasn't a good first half for me personally. What Gregory said? No, the first half was pretty good, especially the link with Bailey and Shamar. Why? I don't know. Either a different game me I watch, or a different game Gregory that watch. Man, I know. Me never. I'm not sure. I wasn't. I think the team drastically improved in the second half, though. To be fair, I think the boys. I think Paul Hall gave them a talking to, and whatever he said to them. Um, what my boy the name again? I'm saying I don't want to see back in the side again. Lambert. I think. But yo, me not have no time for Lambert as I see them. I rate him as a centre back, but me not have no time for him as I see them. So I think that even though he was the worst player on the park, in my opinion, in the first half, I think that he stepped it up big time in the second half and put in a decent shift in the second half. So, and all the boys, I think, raised their levels in the second half, and the team had a much better showing, and the game was kind of back and forth for large periods in the second half. But one of the things though that I was kind of disappointed with is the amount of substitutions from Paul Hall or the lack thereof. I don't know. What do you think about that, Crystal?
Yeah, that one was a little bit questionable for me. Like I said, I just spoke about the obvious fact there where we were at some period in the game when we moved towards the second 45, we had three players, and unfortunately these players come from the weakest part of our game, which is no doubt the defense, and three of our defenders were sitting on yellow cards. So I'm looking at the game and I'm thinking one irrational move and that's it. And then that then has a knock-on effect for the reverse fixture on Mexico home soil. So I did look at that decision making there, or lack thereof, and I was thinking, when is it going to happen? Why isn't it happening? But clearly, Paul Hall took a gamble, and on that occasion, he got away with it. Maybe on a different day, that might not be the case, because let's remind ourselves the last time we played Mexico, I believe this was on home soil back in um, January. Damian Lowe picked up a red card. Not to say that I was banking on Damian Lowe to pick up a red card. I'm just saying that, when you've got three players who are sitting on a yellow card, taking into consideration that the last match he played against Mexico, you picked up a red card. I would have thought that he would have made a decision. And after looking at that game, I was saying on my channel that it seems that, if we were to go ahead and make a decision, it might be a forcible decision. So, with Kevin Lambert, that was a forcible decision because of the injury there. Maybe it's a precautionary one. You don't want to see him out for the rest of his season with his club. So that decision had to be made, and it was a sensible one as well. But yeah, I was scratching my head with the yellow cards there in defense. Again, the weakest part of our game, but we got away with it last night, so perhaps there isn't too much there to complain about.
The positive part about this comment though, I don't agree with the first half was pretty good, but the Bailey and Shamar link up was something that we saw quite a bit of in the game, and it bore fruit on one particular occasion and almost bore fruit on other occasions as well. So, I mean, that would be good if that is something that we could see going forward, link up between Bailey and Boza, those two working off each other to good effect for the Reggae Boys going forward. So I
Yeah.
agree with that. I agree with that aspect of your comment though, Gregory. Um, the problem is the need to hold on to the ball longer. They need to generate more passes. The midfield need to come alive. I can't remember when was there ever a time when the Reggae Boys never had a problem with their midfield. I mean,
Midfield
seriously.
and defense, isn't it? Those are I think when we looked at the Gold Cup last year, I think one of our biggest worries was actually the defensive midfield position. I think we were probably okay with defense, not look to say okay, but maybe just where the centre backs are concerned. But it's the same. It's the same feeling there. We haven't rectified that age old issue as it relates to ADM, or not ADM, two solid DMs. And sorry, and also sorting out our I'm so sorry, one second. Sorry
That's
about that,
okay.
guys.
That's okay.
Sorry, Formula. And also sorting out our fullback position as well. So we're probably looking at maybe four additional players in those two areas there that we talk about, the fullback positions and the defensive midfield position.
We need a CDM. We are in debt. People, if you don't know a CDM can give the Jamaica Reggae Boys national team, feel free to donate. The number to call is 876. Yo, we need a CDM. We need one desperate. As a matter of fact, we need we need three CDMs. We need three CDMs because right now the CDM cupboard is bare, absolutely bare. I mean, for starters, somebody that many people thinks should be the quote unquote savior. He is, I mean, to say he is. I think I hear Qatar call him Doctor Glass.
Who is
Um,
Dr. Glass? Who is that?
Kevin Stewart man
Wow.
can't
Wow.
keep fit for save him life.
Jesus. Wow.
Is that this great yo? This man is on
Injured
a
though.
stretcher more than he's on the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can't rely on that particular player going forward.
Mm.
Cannot rely on that particular player going forward. And because he's gonna be unavailable for us more than he is available.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jordan Cousins right now is the only CDM I can think of that can do that is well, he's not available now, but will be, one would hope, in short order. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Grant is on the other side of the hill. He's what, 35 now, and not a realistic option for us to take into the next World Cup qualifiers. We need some proper CDMs of a good age to build with,
Mm.
right? And the only one, I mean, we can't. I mean, there's a Lewis Baker, but I don't know if Lewis Baker wants to come and play for Jamaica. I don't think so. Let's hope that he will be approached and brought into the setup. Joey Desert is on the bench for Orlando City right now and not getting any game time. Right? Um, the CDM position is just, and the thing about it, Crystal, what worries me is that not only is the cupboard bare right now, but also, apart from Cousins, there's no one else lining up to come into the setup. That is somebody who we can build with going forward. David Davis is a player I have a lot of time for, but he's what, 30, 31 right now? Would it be wise to build with him going forward in 4 years' time? Or, I mean, the campaign doesn't start in 4 years' time, but in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, they're about when World Cup qualifiers taking place. Is that somebody that we can rely on at that particular point in time, given his age right now? I mean, he's a damn good player, but I don't know. David Davis, Crystal?
Mm-hmm. The thing is, yeah, I think I spoke about him with someone else. I can't remember whose channel it was, but spoke about him. Um, just backtracking with what you said about Lewis Baker, and you're saying that you don't know if he's interested in playing for Jamaica. I would say that I'm perfectly fine with that, and it's not a hit out at Lewis Baker. It's for any player who don't want to play for Jamaica. I think we need to put ourselves in a position where there needs to be a limit. There needs to be a how many times is too many times until you move on. You have to ask yourself that question, and obviously that's in the hands of the recruiters there, be it the coaches themselves or JFF representative themselves, that give these players their call up or reach out to these players to ask them, are you interested in playing for Jamaica? After a certain number of time, if the answer is still inconclusive, you move on and you look elsewhere. Or to be a bit proactive, whilst you're trying to get your Lewis Baker, look to get someone else. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because you never know. You can't really be relying on players to commit to whatever project you have in mind if there is question marks. So obviously we'll be grateful to see him play for us, but if there's any question marks, any if or buts there, or any stuttering from the player, then with all due respect for both parties, you just move on. You go and find someone else.
No, Crystal, don't say that. Don't say that, Crystal. Crystal.
You know, one thing about me, Formula, I'm going to speak my
If
God honest truth. I know some people
Crystal,
are not going to agree with me, but that's perfectly fine because, like I've said so many times, football is a game of opinion. You're going to have your opinion, not you, but anyone per se will have their opinion, and I'm going to have my opinion. The thing that I'm trying to say is history speaks volumes. We can look back in history and we can see where we have waited patiently or have tried to try to recruit a player or give a player a call up when they are looking on the bright side of 30. We need to move away from that now. It has to be a standard. You have to have some sort of standard for yourself. Is it a case of us saying after 3 or 4 times, that's it, we leave it and we move on? You can't take these call ups or these questions or knocking on players' doors into double figures. So there's no way you should be knocking on a player's door 10 times, 11 times, 12 times. Like, have a bit of dignity, move on, regardless of who the player is. Go and find someone else. In the meantime, that you're trying to chase down whoever that player is, you're going to miss out on a gem. You're going to subsequently miss out on a gem, and that's to your own wrongdoing. So, what I'm saying is, yes, you can go ahead and knock 10 times on that door, but whilst you're doing that, look somewhere else so that you don't miss that gem. Because if you keep putting all your eggs in one basket, subsequently you're going to miss out on an absolute killer baller, and you don't want that. You're going to miss out perhaps even on that all-rounder, someone who is committed to the program, someone who bleeds the black, green, and gold, someone who you probably don't even have to ask once or twice, do you want to play for Jamaica, because they have that attachment to their country, be it somebody who is born on home soil or someone who is born in the diaspora waters. Like I said, there has to be a standard. Is it a case of saying after 4 or 5 times, that's it, move on? But have some dignity, have a bit of dignity. I'm tired of seeing it, Formula, and going ahead, I don't want to see it no more. Like, just have some dignity and do things the right and proper way.
Crystal, I
Mm.
know Isaac Hayden kind of would you say turned us down, so to speak,
Yeah.
but honestly, I would go running and begging Isaac Hayden to come play for the Reggae Boys right now.
But why though? If he has said to you no, he doesn't want to
Crystal,
play
we
for us,
need
why would
a
he
TDM. I'm in a business
No,
go
it's not
fine
about
right
that.
now,
No,
Crystal.
no, Formula. I disagree because what are you going to do when you meet that lack of commitment? What are you going to do when you run into a commitment issue? It has to be all hands on deck. It has to be all hands on deck. Yes, there when with a player like Isaac Hayden, he probably have good solid reasons as to why he's saying that he don't want to play for us. Then you look at the reason and you try to iron out those reasons, all those reasons that we can look past. Or is it just a simple fact of him saying, I don't rate you? Personally, I don't want you playing for my country if you don't rate my country. It's as simple as that. You can wait on your England call up or wait to play for whoever you want to play for. But if you don't have that basic level of respect and that basic need to say, I do want to play for your country, but before I commit, or our country, before I commit, we have to iron out our issues. There are some reasons there where players don't want to commit, and it's totally understandable because the leadership at the top is completely appalling. So I can understand if we knock on a player's door like a Isaac Hayden or a Lewis Baker, and initially they're saying, they're not really convinced. They want you to convince them. There will be times that we have to convince players and persuade players. It's no different to players at club level. Yes, we will have to do that at some point. But what I'm saying is, after you reach the 4, 5 times, 6 times, look elsewhere. If you want to keep asking them 25 times, 100 times, that's on you. But be proactive and look elsewhere so you don't miss out on that gem of a player, that generational type of player. But you need commitment. You need commitment. So from somebody is telling me that they don't want to play for us, then I'm thinking, okay, so why don't you want to play for us? And if you keep on telling me, if I'm trying to persuade you and I'm being extremely professional and you keep on telling me no, 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 no means no. So I move on. I move on because what I don't want to do, Formula, is bring a player on board and somewhere down the line, they don't want to be in the trenches. You need to be all hands on deck and you need to be prepared to be in the trenches. You also need to remind yourselves that when you're coming for Jamaica, this is not a 5-star treatment that you will be getting. You sometimes you have to work with a 1-star or a 2-star or a 3-star. So, those are the type of mentality that we need to recruit because John Barnes said it already. Certain player, when they come to play for Jamaica, they're expecting a certain level of treatment. Open your eyes, know what you're trying to commit to. Wake up and look at reality. Look at reality before you commit. before you commit to play for Jamaica.
Crystal, we need a CDM.
We do need a CDM, but this is
We
something
need
that
we need three. Crystal, we have no CDM that can do anything for us at the I don't businesses them not committed right now. And
no
if
formula.
any way,
You're gonna
if we
regret
have to
saying that.
drag
You have
them,
to.
if we
No,
have to
no, no.
drag them, if we have to beg them, if we
Formula.
have to
No.
plead,
No, you're
please,
going to
Isaac
regret.
Aiden, come
No,
rest in
no, we're
Jamaica.
not begging nobody to play for us. No, persuade a player to play for us, but to get on my knees and beg you, if I was the one doing the dealings, a lot of you would be very upset with me because I'm not doing that. I would persuade you, I would approach you professionally, but I'm not getting on my knees and begging you. And you know, when you do a thing like that and the players within the team, the current setup, are aware that your player, you have to beg your player to come and commit to you, that upsets synergy. That
Fair
upsets synergy.
point.
Because
Fair
when you
point.
come in, at the moment, we're building from the ground up. So Paul Hall and the guys, Leon Bailey, Shaman Nicholson, Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, they're all trying to build from the ground up. So when you bring in a guy who is high and mighty and think that his waist can make putty, that essentially just upset the morale of the team. Because number one, you think that you're the star boy. You think you're gold dust. You're not. We're all equal. It's either we're all gold dust or we're nothing at all. So I would never ever say to the federation, beg a player to play for us. No, persuade them to play for us. But if they're adamant that they don't want to play for us, okay, cut your losses and move on. Move on. The world that we live in, you have Jamaicans in every acre of the land. Jamaicans in China, Jamaica in Japan, Jamaica, every single country that you can think of, there's Jamaicans spread across the board. You must can find a DM or what, you know, even a DM. You must can find 2 or 3 DM if you do your work proper. Do your work proper. There's Jamaicans all over, Jamaicans in Costa Rica. Go do your research. You must can find them. But I don't ever want to hear Jamaica saying that they're begging a player to play for them, because you're going to upset the synergy within the team. Because just like how we will find out that this player is high and mighty and sitting on his high horse, the players within the team who are in the trenches building from the ground up will also be made aware of that. And then they're probably not going to want to pass the ball to him because you think that you're better than me. If I'm a player and you claim that you're better than me, I'm not passing you the ball. I'm sorry, I'm not passing you the ball. Tough luck.
No, no, I see your points in a Crystal. I see your points. But again, we need a CDM.
I'm not
Um
agreeing with you, Fab. This is the first time that me and you have heavily disagreed. But like I said, you know what? Me and you, we usually agree on a few things, but football is a game of opinions. We don't ever have to agree on anything at all. But this is the first time that me and you are sitting on the opposite side of the fence. And I'm okay with that.
yeah, yeah. A couple of things. I'm realizing that me never set up the stream properly at all.
Why?
So
What
this
happened?
is I don't know what happened. There are no tags on the video. No, because
You can go in your thing, go in your YouTube studio and set it up. You can go ahead and do that, and I can
why
like just lead the conversation for you
yeah
if you
man,
want.
it's alright. It's alright. It's
You
not that
sure?
big of a deal, but yeah man, but it's just like all of the because you know you normally have your thing in the description and the tags and that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I mean we're doing things differently this time around. So you know, there's clearly a lot that needs to be
It's a
sorted out
learning
and needs
process,
to be
isn't it?
yeah,
So
yeah.
mistakes are gonna be made.
As I said, guys, we're doing something completely different this time around. I've never done it before. Don't think Crystal has either. We're
No, I'm
streaming
not.
on we're streaming on both our channels at the same time. So this is something new to the space that has never been done before. This is kind of a test run. So work with us, guys. If everything doesn't add up, if everything not really match up. Secondly, um, Andrew Bryan. Andrew Bryan, do I know you from somewhere, boss? Andrew, if you're still on the live, hit me in the comment section. Is this the Andrew Bryan? Is this the Andrew Bryan where I know from your young bud? No man, if this is, I mean I can
YouTube is a place where you reconnect with your friends.
yeah, I haven't seen come here Andrew. I know Andrew from a young but little picnic. Crystal,
Yeah.
the spammers. You see
I'm
them in
trying
the
to
comment
delete a
section.
few of them. Good evening, Owen, and all the other guys in
Don't time them out. Block them completely.
yeah, sorry, I've been deleting them. Yeah, let me go ahead and see if I can.
Yeah, man. Block. When them pop up in the comment section,
Yeah.
you're supposed to just block the user
You
and
know,
not
I don't think I
necessarily.
have I can't even block them from my end. Let's see if I block that one.
Oh,
I don't think I can block anyone from my end. I can delete the comments, I can remove it, but I don't have the
oh,
option to
yeah,
block them.
yeah. So that I figure sorted as well because them are run rampant in the comment
I
section.
know. Ridiculous.
As I said, guys, bear with us because it's the first time we ever do something like this when we're streaming on other on both on two separate platforms, my platform and Crystal's platform as well. So it's a bit of a troubleshooting session going on during the live as well.
And Tennessee Lewis as well. Good evening to yourself, Tennessee.
Yo, boss, yeah, dear Bridging. Yo, Andrew, me you need for link in a dog. Me you need for link.
How did he find your channel?
I don't know. I don't know. Look like him
Maybe he
subscribe
should
to it
tell
or
us.
something. Yeah. Yo, Andrew, hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at the Formula Sports. So at the Formula Sports, one word, all lowercase. Just hit me up on Instagram and we can link. Yo, but a years me not see because alright, Andrew and I went to high school together. Seeing
Wow.
and we were in the same class together. But I knew him even before that because when I was younger and I used to go to church with my mother, we used to go to a church in Portmore called Brayton. So and so me know Andrew from me a little picnic, like literally from me around like probably 5 or something like that, like young.
Mm.
So and I haven't seen him since he left high school. So because he didn't he left and went to Arden, I think, if memory serves me right. So no lie. I did see my graduation. I saw him at graduation from high
Oh,
school. He
lovely.
came to graduation. So yeah, but yo, Bridget, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. It's good to hear from you and see say you're alive and well and just reach out to me and I don't know, follow me on Instagram and like DM me or something so we can link. See, it's been a really long time. Good to hear from you and good to see that you are alive and well. Owen say hi. Oh, I think he's talking about the spammers. Yeah, we have to sort out that as well. In terms of dealing with the how we're gonna deal with the spammers. Because all right, I blocked them on YouTube, but for some reason it looked like it not really working on my end when I blocked them. So you're mute, Crystal, you're mute.
Oh, my apologies. It might just be someone new each time, but I'll keep removing the comments as I go. I'll try to like delete them. Good evening, Mr. Ballin. How are you? That's you got to work on the. You got to work on your the audio as well, Formula.
Yo, it's all right. Hold
The
on.
best advice I can say is to mute it when you've got
Mm-hmm.
guests.
You're still hearing like it's off?
Yeah, I can't hear it now. I don't know what you did differently, but I can't hear it now.
I had a tab opened. I think I realized what the problem is. When I have a YouTube tab open, it seems to have some sort of background thing that's taking place.
Okay.
So we're all right. So we have to work on the spamming going on in terms of how we can get rid of those.
Mhm.
And what else we have to work on? We have to work on the basically the description and the title and stuff like that because the description that I actually set up on YouTube on the stream is because what happened? I typed in a different title first and then I changed it. But for some reason, it's not registering. So when I'm actually looking at the video on YouTube now, it's not the title that I initially had put up, and none of the tags or none of the description that I put in is there. So, well, as you know, it's a troubleshooting session and we have much to learn and it's a learning curve. So we'll sort out all of that in due time. All right. So I think we have covered everything on the Mexico game so far. I don't know anything else you want to add. One more thing I want to add, we need a CDM. Anything else you want to add?
Mr. Formula, I'm not fighting you on that one. I'm not fighting you on that one. We'll have to agree to disagree on this occasion, but I'm not fighting you on this one. Looks like he's frozen there, guys. Looks like he's frozen on us. So I'll be leading the conversation. Good evening to you guys there in the comment section. I'm sure he'll unfreeze himself in at some point. He did say that he was having a little bit of an internet issue, so it seems as if those issues have resurfaced. Hopefully, you guys should still be able to hear me. Let me know in the comment section if you can't, and I'll try to do something from my end. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the games that was played last night, that 1-1 draw there against the Mexicans on home soil. Let me know what you make of the lack of substitution. That was something that Formula put on the table earlier on in the live stream, and I've already covered that, but it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think of the lack of substitution there. Let's remind ourselves that the Kevin Lambert substitution, that one was a forced substitution due to an injury. I think it might have come down to a precautionary decision there from the gaffer, Mr. Paul Hall. These spammers are active tonight. I'm not really sure why, but I'm going to do my best to try and remove them there for you guys. Apologies, they do look a little bit untidy in the comment section. I do apologize. You guys are hearing me? Okay, thank you. That's lovely. Like I said, oh, it's just me now. Okay. So Formula should be back at some point. Fingers crossed. I have no idea when he's going to reappear, but he should reappear at some point. Again, let me know how you guys let me know what you guys think of the game last night. When Formula reappears, we're going to be dissecting the remaining fixtures there with that double game, the reverse fixture and the away fixture against Suriname. So let me scroll through the comment section, see if I can bring anything up for you guys. Looks like I'm going backwards. I am going backwards in the comment section. Okay, so let's scroll to the top. Okay, so let's see. I hope that you guys have gone ahead and hit that like button as well. If you haven't done so, please do go ahead and be friendly. Get friendly with that like button for us, please, and thank you. When is the next match? If I'm not I definitely know that it's in March of next year. I think it might be the 26th of March. I think that's the to be confirmed date. So my date, I'm using Google, so Google has given me my date based off my location. So it says the 26th of March 2023 to be decided. So depending on the kickoff time, this game is likely to be played between the 25th and the 26th. I say the 25th only if you're in the Caribbean, across the pond in the United States or Canada, because you're all roughly on similar time zone. With me, based in London, I have a 6-hour time difference compared to you guys based in Jamaica. So my date, if my kickoff time is at 12 a.m., then that would simply mean that the game will be played on the 25th for you guys based in the Caribbean and across the pond. Hopefully, I haven't confused you guys too much, but like I said, as things stand, that reverse fixture there against Mexico is penciled in for the 26th of March 2023, and that date and time is to be decided. As things stand, Jamaica are sitting at the top of the table in Group A, where the Concacaf Nations League is concerned, sitting on 5 points, having played 3 matches. Just below us is our fiercest rivals there, last night's opponents, the Mexicans, and there's only a 1 point difference there. So winner takes all in the reverse fixture to see who wins that group there, where Group A is concerned. The Mexicans are sitting on 4 games with 2 matches played. They should have another game coming up at some point. Not really sure what their fixture is looking like, but they have played 2 matches so far. I hope I've covered you guys' answers. You guys' question, I should say, not your answer, your question. My apology. Oh, you're back. I didn't even realize that you're back, Formula. I was busy looking down in the comment section. I can't hear you. Are you on mute? Why can't I hear you? Definitely can't hear you. You might have to try going out, and maybe can the guys in the comment section hear you? Maybe it's maybe there's an error on my end, but I definitely can't hear you. Guys in the comment section, kind of let me know if you can hear Formula, because I 100% can't hear him. So Mr. Black is saying no sound. So I think you might have to refresh and then come back again, Formula. Yes, 2023 is the next match there for us. Let's remind ourselves there, Mr. Black, because the reason for that is there is a World Cup taking place later on this year. So that explains why our next match will be played in March. Like I said, there is a World Cup taking place this year later on in the latter stages of the year. So that explains why the next time we kick off for a men's senior fixture, it will be in March. So in case you guys are wondering, those World Cup dates there, things kick off on the 21st of November and the tournament concludes on the 18th of December. So you guys just sit tight. Formula is frozen again. Like I said, I think he's having a bit of a technical difficulty. So do forgive him. I'm sure he'll try his best to come back with us as soon as possible. In the meantime, I try and keep you guys occupied. I'm looking at something separate on my screen, so I'm not ignoring you guys there in the comment section. I'm just looking at a few extra stuff on my screen, which you guys can't see because I've not activated no shared screen. Mr. Hot Chili Pepper, good evening to yourself. How are you? Mr. Coach's Desk, good evening, sir. IT Push, good evening to you as well. Right. So let's see. Like I said, guys, when Formula comes back, we're going to look back at those 2 fixtures there where Suriname is concerned. I don't think we've chopped that up yet together on a live stream. So we're going to do that tonight before closing off on tonight's show. Before I forget my manners, thank you again for tuning into myself and Formula Sports. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the conversation so far. On your way out, do not forget to hit that like button. And if you're new to our platforms, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I still can't hear you. What's going on with you tonight? I cannot hear a word that you're saying, Formula. What is going on with you tonight, hey? Let's do a test run. Are you saying something? Say something for me. Glad to see. I had to bring them back. I like my 2 locks. I had to bring them back. I knew someone would bring it up. Yeah, I might pull it all back on tomorrow's stream. That's if I do a stream tomorrow. You're back,
You hear
Formula.
me?
Loud and clear. A little bit too loud. I
Yo,
had to turn the volume down.
yo, this is really a troubleshooting session because just a bag of arms also take place. All right. So I've been having problems with my internet. So my apologies to the viewers. This really and truly never seemed to be a good time to do this live stream at all. But we're gonna try and finish it nonetheless. All right, so mommy, so about half of the stream just far. What was the I don't know, fill me in so we can jump back and what's taking place.
I was saying to the guys, I think you're gonna have to mute again, Formula. Do you have a tab open? Oh, okay, yeah. I was saying to the guys in the comment section that when you return, we will dissect the two remaining fixtures there in the home and the away leg against Suriname, and that would conclude our group performance so far with the reverse fixture against Mexico taking place in March of next year.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think we have spoken on the Suriname game. We never talk on the Suriname game.
No, I was saying that we when you come back that we would dissect the Suriname game, the both
I mean, I
the
mean, I mean, even privately.
No, I
I
covered
don't
that.
think.
I said that. I don't think I'm pretty sure I said it at one point. I don't think that me and you have spoken about it at all. I don't think I've actually dissected it
Mhm.
privately at all.
All right. So, me personally, I thought the second game was better than the first. I think
Mm-hmm.
obviously the inclusion of the likes of the quality players. We know the quality players, the Ravels, the Amari Bells, a player that I have a lot of time for. A lot of people don't seem to respect this player. They think that, you know, I think to be fair, he probably doesn't shine as much for country as he does when I've seen him at Luton. But I know the quality that this particular fullback brings to the table. Players like Lowe, players like Boza, did make the trip to Suriname. Neither did Aaron's. Rolanda Aaron's never featured in the first Suriname game. I don't think he was
Not the
there either.
first one.
So
Remember, he also had some traveling issues as well. BA messing up his luggages and so on.
yeah, man, JFF 101. But yeah, so the second performance was much better than the first time around. The first game for me, I think we did well to get a draw in that particular game because I think, and I said it already, the boots on the ground in Suriname that we had down in Suriname. Suriname's team was a better team than ours, and we are fortunate that some of their top players pulled out because if they didn't, the match could have gone a different way, and even to then we could have snatched it in the end. And I think in the second game we absolutely dominated them, man. Like, what a difference four players can make. We absolutely dominated them the second go around, and we just put our foots on their necks and really stifled them. You know, I mean, we played the game for the most part in the Surinamese half, which is something that I think Reggae Boys fans will want to see a lot more of going forward. The pressing, the counter pressing, you know. Rob- yeah, so it was a very good performance against a credible Suriname team. So, but I think what really affected us in the first game was the fact that one, we were away from home, and two, on paper their team was stronger. So, but with the return fixture now, us being at home, big guns being injected into the team, we just completely dominated them for the most part, and showed our class. Players like Ravel, Boza. Well, no, lie. Boza never did nothing in that game. The players like Ravel, you know, really stepped up. Who else stepped up in that game? Who else stepped up in that second Suriname game?
Bravo.
Yeah, Ravel and Flemo had a really good game.
Yeah.
Yo, what a difference a couple months at a club that give proper development can do to you, man. He has really looked a better player in recent games for the national team. And yeah, man, the performance the second go around was much better, man. Much better. What are your thoughts on the home and away leg?
I thought the away one was a little bit tricky, a little bit uncomfortable to watch at times. Obviously, we know the reasons for that because of all the internal affairs taking place, all the distractions that came with the internal affairs. So, I think if you look in hindsight, straight after that game, perhaps not too surprised by. You gotta go on mute again, Formula. Not too surprised about the end results there. It's a bit devastated to see us concede our own goal towards the latter stages of that game. And unfortunately, on that occasion, it was Amal Knight that had to face the music. So he was
Crystal,
unfortunate.
that is
Mm.
one of the worst goalkeeping errors I have ever seen.
Yes.
I've never seen a goalkeeper, and that's the thing, you know. You see, Amal Knight is a tricky goalkeeper, you know, because he's the type of goalkeeper. Sorry to cut you, but he is the type
It's
of
okay.
goalkeeper that he will be having a good game and then boom, him do something like what him did do down at Suriname. I've never seen a goalkeeper punch at a ball and the ball end up going behind them in the back of the net. It's one of the strangest errors I've ever seen. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it was a calamity. It was an absolute blunder on his behalf. But thankfully, when he came out for the second game, it didn't look as if it had an effect on him, which is fair play to Amal Knight on that occasion. Also, huge amounts of credit to the guys who showed up for the second fixture and also played for the second fixture in the reverse fixture against Suriname because I went into that game and we know that we weren't well prepared in terms of training preparations and potentially that mental that mental training that's necessary when you're approaching these type of games where every point counts and you want to get maximum points because of the outside noise, all of the distraction coming from the federation. I have to say that on that occasion it was a mature performance from the boys because they did exactly what was needed of them, which was to respond. I think going into that game I was looking and I was saying that taking all of the noise into consideration, the distraction, I looked at that game and thought, even though we're playing on home soil, because of our situation, it is literally Suriname's game to lose. When we look back at that 1-1 draw away from home, they had a little bit of a sting in their tail when they got their own goal and they had to feed off the energy of the 12th man. Things were looking a little bit shaky. I was thinking, don't tell me that they're going to steal this, they're going to nick it. Thankfully, they didn't. Like I said, when it came to the second fixture there, the reverse fixture, I was pleased with how we started the game, and that was a delightful free kick from Ravel Morrison, Junior Flemings. That was 2 goals on the trot, and it was 2 delightful goals from Junior Flemings as well. Tidy finish from Jamal Lowe. So it was a potent response and a necessary response, given the occasion, given the circumstance, given all that background noise. I thought, all in all, you know what, fair play to you guys because that was a mature performance, probably the most mature performance I've seen from them up until that point. So fair play to them.
The response was a very good response, and I think they needed it. You know,
Mm.
and I personally said that I think it probably has something to do with the well, as a removal, so to speak, of this particular fella. I think this particular resignation gave them a pep in their step.
Mm.
I think that a burden was lifted off their shoulders, so to speak. They played like they were free at last. They played like they were free at last, but it was a very good response from the boys the second go around. Um, how far you think the Reggae Boys can get in the Nations League?
I said earlier on at the before the start of the tournament that going forward, particularly when we look at the Nations League, that I don't have too great of expectations on them because I just try to live with the reality, and the reality that Paul Hall has been drumming home for us is that it's a succession plan, it's a rebuilding process. And usually when you're going for a rebuilding process, it takes a while to taste success. If we can pull it off at early doors, then kudos to the guys. But I've not attached any unrealistic target for them. Not saying winning the Nations League is unrealistic. It's just that we have to look around at the talent that shows up within these other groups with these other respected nations, and know that they have some fantastic players at their disposal. If people didn't know about Suriname, they probably would have looked and said, Suriname, Jamaica are going to batter them, because they don't have that football knowledge. So, I'm just taking it one game at a time. I'm not going to put too much of a heavy burden on them. There's still things that we need to get correct. There's still areas there that needs to be tweaked. Aside from tweaking those areas, so the defensive midfield position, the full back, and adding reinforcements where the centre back is concerned, we also need to look at squad depth. So there's a few areas of concern there. So until those things are in place, I'm literally just taking it one game at a time. If we win, that's fantastic. If we draw, that's too bad. If we lose, we have to go back to the drawing board and go again. But I'm not going to put a unrealistic expectation on their heads, because if we all do that and they don't deliver, then obviously there's going to be some angry set of 12 men. So I'm just trying to take it one game at a time. How about you?
It depends. I think it depends heavily on how much Paul Hall can strengthen this team. This
Mm-hmm.
team, as it is currently constituted, cannot win us a Nations League. You know, um, I think though, if Paul Hall manages to get a better group of players together, though, I think he does possess the ability to go very, very far in this tournament. One of the things that I was thinking about it this morning, and I'm saying, if it is a case that players have pulled out, because I know, one of the things being said is that, like for Antonio, he chose holidays. And if that is true, which I don't know if it is, because to be fair, there's a lot of politics in this thing going on. But if it is true, and I think about it now, I'm saying to myself, yo, it was only for 3 games. You couldn't give away what? The 3 games have been a week and a half. Over the course of probably a week and a half, no more than 2 weeks. You couldn't give away 3 games and then you go on your vacation. So
But
initially,
Pamela, this is like, sorry to cut you off, but this goes back to where I'm talking about the commitment, and obviously we don't know the reason why Michael Antonio didn't show up. But if it's not a good enough reason, and it doesn't fall under excuses or reasons such as you need to be there for your family, or you need to take care of your mental well-being, I'm struggling to find a reason that is good enough for you not to be there for your team, for your country, outside of needing to take care of your mental well-being and your family, because we all know family comes first. Every single player who played a competitive game of football would be saying that I need some time off. But if you all say that, then we basically can't put a team together, not even a half decent team. So this is why I say that, perhaps in the future we need to be careful of how many times we ask certain players to play for us, and how many times is too many times. And you always have to do that test of questioning their commitment, because that's something that the gaffer hasn't shied away from. He was visibly upset back in the remaining World Cup window. Yes, by then we knew we wasn't going to qualify for the World Cup, but that was when the rebuilding process started. That was when you needed your soldiers in the trenches. Yes, people can say, why should he show up when there's nothing to play for? What about the rest of the players? What about your Ravel Morrison? He was in a dire situation with Derby, absolutely shambolic situation with Derby, but he still showed up. Leon Bailey probably was Aston Villa was probably whispering in his ear and telling him don't go because you might go and get injured, and so on and so on. So there's plenty there to consider, but commitment is something that we need to just nip that in the bud. You're either in or you're out. You can't have one leg in and then the other leg out. Like that, for me, it just doesn't work. Again, there will be times where players are not able to make the team, and my only exception to turning down a call up is to say it's for family, or you're saying you need to take care of your mental well-being. Outside of that, I don't really know what's really important enough for you to turn your back on your country.
initially I was saying to myself, I understand with Mikel Antonio, because to be fair to him, he has had a very long season. he has played a lot more games this season than he has ever played in his entire career. You're talking about adding international games with the Reggae Boys to his schedule, and also European games as well. He has never played international football or European football. I don't think he has ever played European football from my memory.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
I've covered this with
but
you. Like, yeah, go on.
no, but here's the thing though, Crystal. I never thought about it from the perspective that it's only 3 games
That's
over
what I'm
like a
saying.
week and a half period. So you
Exactly.
really couldn't forward for
Exactly.
just 3 games. You couldn't give a regin. And him tell we
Exactly.
and promise we. Say him would have show up. And also there was a little break between when the Premier League would have ended. And look, I'm not in the business of questioning players' commitment. I don't like to do it. And I said this all the while. I cannot speak to one's subjective intentions. In other words, I can't read your mind. Seeing for know if you are committed or not. So I don't like to speak to players' commitments. I don't know if you're committed or not. I don't know how committed you are because I cannot read your mind. But when I was thinking about it this morning, may I say you really and truly for those players that pulled out for allegedly, and again, you know, we don't know if this is true or not because this thing is becoming a little bit political sometimes, and that's unfortunate. But if it is indeed true, may I say, not even 3 games you couldn't give a boss and then go on holidays or do what you need to do. Eagle Republic say Antonio body is breaking down. Why you say that? But I know where you see Antonio body breaking down. Antonio go a whole season this season for the first time in his life and not pick up no injury, man. Antonio could have do the couple weeks rest after the end of the Premier League and then give you 3 games, man. Come on. I think so. Honestly, I do. So, but me not business though, Crystal. Me not business. We need a CDM. I don't care how
Let's
committed
come
they
back to the
are.
CDM business again.
Honestly, as much as Isaac Hayden allegedly turned us down, if Isaac, me that got Isaac doorstep right now, I'm
I'm
begging,
actually shocked
please,
by you, Formula. I'm absolutely
please,
shocked by you.
please come and play for the Reggae Boys, Isaac. Please, we are begging, we
Yeah,
are give you land, we are give you mansion, we are give you Benz. We need CDMs, man. That first half from Lambert in the Mexico game was just a disgrace, man. Honestly, it was a disgrace. We need CDMs badly. We need pivot players on our wall because we need a backup to Ravel too. And the gaffer spoke about it in the post-match press conference that I one thing with the gaffer, man, him good with words. My boss said, fair comment, Tevin Campbell, but 3 games, come on, man. Antonio could have given us, if it is true that he turned down the call up to go on vacation, Antonio could have given us 3 games, man. I'm not questioning his commitment because I now go down the road. Don't know how committed he is, but he must could have taken the couple weeks break, rest up after the Premier League done, and come give it cause it was like probably about 2 weeks break, I think,
the thing
between the.
is, Formula, we can sit
Mm,
and we can read between the lines. Obviously, I get what you're saying with the not questioning a player's commitment, but the players put themselves in this position. The players put themselves in a position where people will naturally question your commitment when you're not there. And it's not as if it's like the odd occasion. It's like on the bounce, it's on the trot that you're not there. Why aren't you there? Yes, I understand. Like I said, I think the last time I was on your program, I said, obviously, Mikel Antonio has played his most competitive matches this season ever, playing in Europa League. He almost went all the way to win it with West Ham, but they fell short of the hurdle, quite similar to Kimar Roof. But like you just said, it is literally 3 games. It's no more than you're not going to. I don't even think it was 2 weeks, if our calculations are right. Just 3 games, and this is where your team needs you. This is where you. this is where your country, more importantly, this is where your manager or your coach and your team needs you when they're building from the ground up, when they're in the trenches. This is when they need you. It can't be a case of we're looking like we're one match away from potentially winning the Nations League, and that's when you want to show up. Because who's going to welcome you? Nobody in their rightful mind is welcoming you with open arms. Forget the whole professional aspect. If it's not a valid reason as to why you're not there, don't expect your teammates to welcome you back with open arms. It doesn't matter who you are or who you play for. Commitment
and
has to
and
be there.
and that can help to create division as well. But I'm gonna respond
Absolutely.
to Eagle. I'm gonna respond to Eagle comment because look, me no business how sensitive of an issue this is, you know. Me talk my mind, you know, because when you start going down this particular speaking on this particular issue, it seems as though the comment section get antsy. Seen? See, like this is a topic where as soon as they hear it, whoa, the formula go say no. I could take out the belt, you know. I could take out the belt. The formula go say no. And if he say nothing wrong, then swing belt. Me talk my mind. I don't business who want get antsy in a comment section. But the gaffer, Eagle Republic, the gaffer did say that not all the players. He did say that some of the players weren't called. He did say that some of the players weren't called. It's not all the players weren't called. It's not all the players weren't called. Some of the players were not called. But he did say that there were players that he called that most of them turned down the call up. Right? You know what's so crazy, for instance, Maps, Adrian Marapa, from what I understand, allegedly turned down the call up, you know. No, me and my rightful man could never dare here sit down and say, oh, anything negative about Maps. Maps don't need to
Exactly.
prove commitment to nobody.
No,
Maps
because he's
has
proved it.
always, yeah, Maps
Yeah.
has always answered the call.
Yes,
Seen?
absolutely.
So if he does turn down a call up, even if it is not for a good reason, me not really care. Because them man they done already show the nation say, yo,
He's committed.
you know, yeah. Anytime we call Maps show up and Maps shows out. See, but for players who have just come into the setup like an Antonio, if they want the fans on their side and if they want their teammates on their side, because I'm sure no the current players in the Nations League squad right now wouldn't feel a way to hear that Maps turned down the call up and then, you know, later on shows up if we're in the hunt or if we're close to winning it or whatever. They wouldn't feel a way about that because they don't doubt that this player is fully on board. He has been in the trenches with us on many occasions before. But
Yeah.
when you have players that are relatively young in the setup like a Mikel Antonio, even if not to the fans, to their fellow teammates, they need to let their teammates know that they are willing to be even in the trenches with them. They're willing to be around in the glory moments, but also in the trenches. And that is important if it's even not to the fans, to their teammates. So when I was thinking of, because initially I never really feel no ways about them allegedly pulling out, if it is true. But when I think about it, I say, yo, 3 games, you must like over a 1.5, probably a 1.5 week period. We must could have get, if it is true that they did pull out, me not telling like me that feel a little way. Bobby and DJ are in Jamaica but were rejected by Paul. We would not have to fly them in. Antonio took a well needed break. I think Antonio could have given us 3 games. If you guys respectfully disagree, then so be it. But as I said, if I one position where I don't business, if a player is committed, yo, right now, if they
No,
if
family, you deserve some battle. You deserve some battle
no,
for
me that beg Isaac Hayden come play for Jamaica right now. Big and serious.
I'm
Big
not
and
with
serious.
you on that one, Formula.
Crystal, Me not think you understand. Me not think people, yo, me scared, you know. Me genuinely
No, we
scared.
do understand, but
Me
thing,
genuinely
I'm
scared, you
getting
know,
a
Crystal.
feedback again, Formula.
Oh, you're getting a oh, I don't know what take place. I don't know.
It's
But
faint. It's faint. But no, I do understand. But we're literally sat here talking about commitment or lack thereof, and then you're saying that you would beg a player to play for us. So straight away,
yeah,
it's like
no,
you're
you
setting
have the
yourself up a
general
path
rule.
for failure.
Crystal, you have the general rule, and then you have exceptions to the general rule. This is an
No,
exception to the
no.
general rule.
It's
Me a
about
beg Isaac
equality.
Hayden and Louis Baker come play for Jamaica
No,
right
so
now. Me a
thank
beg
God you're
them.
not in charge of the scouting, because you go and
Crystal,
upset the morale in the
hold on,
team.
hold on. All right. Crystal, Joey Desert, the last time I checked, I don't think he has played a game for Orlando City all season. He's on the bench. See? Which
Yeah.
is kind of surprising to me because he's a pretty decent player. So I don't know what is taking place there. I still think we need to give him we need to rope him. If we can bring in Lambert in the setup, Joey Desert is miles a better player than Lambert. Jordan Cousins from time to time does has his problems with injury as well, but for the most part he's available. Okay, cool. He's the only decent option available to us right now. Anthony Grant is 35 years old. We cannot build with him going forward. Kevin Stewart is probably in the hospital right now, recovering from an injury that he sustained in his backyard. This is a player this brother is the definition of injury prone. It is ridiculous. I'll hear a lot of people saying, oh, when we get back Kevin Stewart, ladies and gentlemen, may I tell you this right now, don't put your eggs in the Kevin Stewart basket. I would not be shocked if Kevin Stewart career done and Kevin Stewart not play 10 games to the Reggae Boys. Big and serious. That is how bad this player's injury track record is. We cannot depend on that brother going forward. None at. That would be madness. See? Who else now? David Davis, I haven't heard of him getting a passport, and he's over the age of 30 as well. There's no telling if by the time the next World Cup qualification cycle comes around, if he will be himself or if he will be in his prime or anywhere near his best, so to speak. Who else? Louis Baker. I mean, I don't, the amount of people reach out to that brother and me not hear nothing positive. Me not hear nothing out of Baker. Isaac Hayden done already tell we say, him now with the thing right now. Who else? You know that there is a player who plays CDM and central midfield at Reading. Somebody need to talk to that brother there, I think him named Josh Laurent. Somebody need to talk to that brother there. Remember, Sir Bright, he's 27. Somebody need to talk to that brother. And we need to talk to the youth at Augsburg as well. In the Bundesliga. His name eludes me right now. I don't know if you know who I'm talking, Crystal.
Who does he play for?
Augsburg in the
Oh,
Bundesliga.
Osberg, you said.
Yeah, he's a centre back, but he does play CDM as well. Okay. But I don't know what we're going to do about the CDM position, but may I tell you this right now. Me that beg Isaac Hayden come play for Jamaica. Beg
This guy is something else, man. You are something else. Formula, you're something else.
Hold on.
He used to play for West Ham. Oh, you're talking about Reese Cook.
Reese Oxford, I think him name.
Reese Oxford, that's it. Reese Cook is the goalkeeper. Yeah, Reese Oxford.
Eagle Republic. I said on the stream that I am not questioning anybody's commitment. I do not know whether Mikel Antonio is committed to Jamaica, yes or no. I don't have the answer to that. Me not in the man brain to know what the man a think, Bertrand. So I don't know if he's committed and I don't know how committed he is. I cannot speak to that. See, Suriname Gate took place after the squad was selected. So Suriname Gate is not an excuse. All I am saying is Mikel Antonio could have delayed the vacation for 2 weeks and play the 3 game. It's not. Here's the thing. For instance, for Mikel Antonio, if this was a Gold Cup tournament and Mikel pulled out, honestly, me wouldn't feel no way. Me wouldn't feel no way. Seeing, even if Mikel could even make himself available for the 2 home game them, me not like him could again.
Why
I'm
wouldn't
not
you feel
questioning the player's
anyway?
commitment. All I'm just saying is it was 3 games. Got you,
Good
Crystal.
evening, Mr. Liverpool, Mr. Prince. Yeah, Formula. Why wouldn't you feel no way if it was a Gold Cup? Isn't that worse?
No, I'll tell you why. Because that would be that would be an entire tournament. So the argument about him really needing the rest, I could understand if he didn't feel as though his body was up for it for an entire tournament. For Mikel Antonio's case, that I could understand
But
because
Formula, this is why I say that we have to nip certain things in the bud. Um, my brain's just froze. Okay, Prince, I'm gonna pay attention to your comment in a second. This is why I said that we need to sort out this commitment or lack there of commitment conversation. It has to be nipped in the bud because for me, I'm expecting you to show up to a Gold Cup. I'm expecting you to 100% show up to a Gold Cup. Look at the players who play for England and France. Absolutely tired. You can tell that they're tired just by look at their performances. You can see in their body that they are tired. It's been a long season for everyone. It's been an absolutely long season for most players, especially those that play in one of the best leagues in the world, playing top flight football. When you're a regular in your team, starting 11 week in week out, when you're playing in Europa League competitions or your Champions League, Europa League, your Conference League, whatever it may be. It's been a tiresome season for everyone, but people, those players that we're referring to, when you look at the larger countries, the more decisive countries, they've all shown up. They've all
it's
shown up,
the
and
more
now they
established countries.
exactly those countries, those players there have all shown up for their countries. They've shown up for their countries, those superior countries that we're thinking of. Like I said, when you're looking at the likes of your France current World Cup winners, you look at their results, you can say there's been a knock-on effect there because of the long season that some of these players have had. So for me, I can't even use that as an excuse. If you're not, the thing is, if you're, like I said, if it's not a damn good reason as to why you've not shown up as it relates to either a mental health issue or your family needs you to be there, outside of that, I struggle to find out or struggle to figure out why you could not show up for your country for 3 games. And now you would have had the chance to put your feet up. It's not as if you're not going to get your summer holiday. You will get your summer holiday. It's just a slightly shorter than what it would have been. Now you would have been able to sail off into the sunset with your family and put your feet up because we would have done what we expected of you.
Yeah. By the way, Crystal, I think. By the way, big up Prince. Prince a formula them send me for you. Go up in the yard formula. I have no idea what Prince is talking about. But anyway,
Oh, formula, it's because you say you will beg Isaac Hayden to play for us.
okay. I don't know. Put some
How did
context to
Prince
it.
hear about that?
Put some context to the context to the joke, Prince. I'm not really 100% on board. But yo, that's something that we can do in it. What I could do is that we could make each other moderators. So that if I was supposed to make you a moderator, you would be able to
Yeah.
clean up the chat.
Yeah. We actually should definitely do that. We should most certainly do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Prince is asking if he could be a moderator as well.
Yeah. Something they say, something they say, Reeve Austin say, family, you have good intentions, but zero tolerance for begging. Virgin, yo, me I got tell you, me nothing could understand the dire straits of a country in when it comes to the CDM position. We need, yo, you know what really hurt me, Crystal? David Davis is such a wonderful player. When me say a baller in a man, a proper baller in a man. It's just a damn shame that a brother you over 30 in a man. So I mean, I'm still in favor of roping him into the setup, but it's kind of difficult to build to another World Cup campaign with a player who is 30 plus. It's risky. There's risk involved.
Yeah, there is.
It's just a damn shame he wasn't 27 or 28. You know, so what am I actually like? Me sit down in the chair and me I say, yo, why David Davis couldn't be 27, 28, man? I'm literally start to imagine a world, where David Davis was 27, 28 in a man. It's actually, yo, we
Oh,
need a CDM, man. I think somebody needs to talk to Joey Desert and tell him that he needs to move club. I think Paul Hall need to take up the phone and call Joey Desert and say, yo, brother, here's the thing, I rate you, but you need a new club. Because you're not get no game at Orlando. And it's hard for really I still think we should try him out and see what he can do. Because if we can bring Maggie into the team, then you know it's hard to argue against a position that we need a player. But the thing about it is Maggie has already played games and proven what he can do for the national team. You know, Desert has not done so as yet, but I still think, given how desperate our situation is in the CDM, I think we need to draft in quick and fast. And I have a lot of time for Desert as well. That's why I can't understand why is he benching so badly in Orlando. Because I watched a lot of games with him last season. Because last season, what happened? Their main CDM got injured, and so they had to draft a Desert, and he played a number of games. Started out a little bit shaky because he was not getting a lot of minutes prior to that. When I'm making substitute appearances, but he wasn't really starting. Started out a little bit shaky, but over time got better and got better. Till even the commentators of MLS games was, hailing his performances. So, but this normally what Orlando did, even when they are there starting, see them who was starting, they would always bring on Joey Desert as a substitute if Orlando was in the lead, was leading the game and they wanted to shore up the game. But now Desert is not getting any game time whatsoever. So me no know. As me said, me personally, I would have beg Louis Baker right now. I'd have beg Isaac Kane right now. Come and play for the Reggae Boys. But
we need the guys in the
guys,
comment section to throw some bottles at your head about you would beg them to come and pay for you.
when I say beg, me no mean no.
No, I don't mean
Me
it no other way
no,
other than how you're putting
me
it.
mean just please Isaac, please come
No,
play.
we're not
That's what I
begging not
mean.
a single player to come and
Yeah,
play for
man,
us.
me I beg,
We're
me
restricting
I
you
got.
from begging any player to play for us, Formula.
I
We're not begging no
don't,
player to play for us.
I don't
Persuade them,
business.
yes, but not beg them.
I don't think so, I don't think so, actually. I don't think so. By the way, may I have to say this? I know we have to get out of here because, Crystal, I forgot bed. It is in the wee hours of the morning in the UK. But one quick thing before we get out of here. I would have to say a lot on it. I don't understand how the Omari Hutchinson situation was not treated with the utmost amount of urgency. If I had a player like this boy in my ranks and I was Gaffer Paul Hall, yo, I don't know, yo, I have a feeling say Prince mine in a gut time, man. Prince, a difference up me mates in a Prince. A difference up me mates. Anyways, my headspace not the right. There's a different thing yeah mates. Anyways, my thing is, if I was Gaffer Paul Hall, me that literally tell my cricket say him need to get Andrew Holness on the line. Andrew need to make some call. These players that once him have all him documents intact, Omari Hutchinson's citizenship and passport should have taken approximately no more than an hour to be sorted. No more passport application for fly through Pika, citizenship application for fly, everything to be no more than an hour. Big and serious. None of 1 week, none of 2 week. My thing is the next Premier League season is going to start. Seeing what I think if an Arsenal player get injured, Omar Hutchins to find him way in at the starting lineup and start to tear up the Premier League. We don't know what will happen. We have seen young players out of the blue just catch a run of farm and impress. What if the player just impress in training? And I mean, Mikel Arteta done already says him have plans for the baller this season. What if him catch a run of farm and then we have to wait till next year for try catch for try and cap this player? Suppose at the start of the season, him catch a serious piece of farm for Arsenal and end up England want him in a them World Cup squad. We will tell the baller, say, don't go World Cup, go play for England. These Nations League games should have been the top priority should have been to cap Omari Hutchinson. The boy is a wonder kid. You don't know where the boy can do come the upcoming season. What will happen? Him just catch a run of farm and just gone. Like JFF. I understand.
Good evening, Toffee. I'm gonna bring up Austin's comment. Austin, so you think JFF at W07?
Yeah, no man. Them when I say in a 1 hour, it was a gross. It was a joke. It was an exaggeration. But when I just say is that it should have been like Anthony Grant, for instance, Cataract said he sorted out his documents in 2 weeks. Right? Look how long the Catalonia game gone. It was more than, if memory serves right, it was no more than 2 weeks between the Catalonia game and the Suriname game.
Unless I am mistaken, I'm sure you can get on the day passports.
Well, the citizenship has to be sorted out as well.
Yes, his citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to make a phone call and say, "Bro God, Mr. Holness, please work your magic."
Honorable Bro God.
Yeah, come on, that you should be able to ask him to eat a humble pie. I don't know if it's all about one not wants to see as if they are begging, but he a humble pie and ask Mr. Bro God to go and help you out because we need all the help that we can get. Swallow your pride.
This is what I'm talking about actually. You know how devastated I would be if I see Omari Hutchinson catch. As a matter of fact, I hope it don't work out at Arsenal for him this season.
Well,
Honestly,
he's looking
more him
like
rub bench.
he's looking like he's actually going to go out on loan this coming season. But
No
anything
man.
anything
It has been reported that Mikel Arteta has plans for him, so they're not gonna loan
yeah,
him.
they do have plans for him, but it's looking like a loan is a possibility for him. That's when he says he has plans for him, it could just mean that he wants to give him more first team football. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to
No
be
man.
in
Him
Arsenal's
said
camp.
Mikel Arteta was reported by credible platforms, some of the biggest platforms in England, to be that his plans for him was to give him the Europa League.
Yeah.
Make him shine in the Europa League for Arsenal.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, it all depends on what happens in preseason, because anything can go in preseason. Preseason, obviously, that's usually for the young players when they're trying to bring themselves into the senior team. That's the
yeah,
shop window to prove yourself, to say that you're ready for first team football. But either way, I just hope that Omari Hutchison's in a position where he can, it's going to see it sound a little bit sinister, but maybe he can take a quick glance of what happened to the likes of Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, and Marcus Rashford and say, no thanks, I'd rather go and play for Jamaica. When things hit the fan, I'm pretty sure they're not going to call me certain names. Again, that is me being a little bit sinister. But yeah, anything can happen this season with him at Arsenal. If he does go on to impressing Mikel Arteta in pre-season, then obviously I hope that he has a great season, but I hope that by now that we've managed to convince him that come and play for us, because we're seeing more and more young players commit to play for their countries of heritage. When you look at some of the players who have committed to countries like Ghana and Nigeria, young players who have literally just said, no, I'm not going to play for England. So maybe now we've got that turning tide where Jamaica stands when it comes to these young players saying enough is enough. I'm going to go and play for my country of heritage, my country. Literally done with the waiting game with England. One of the things that I don't like that England does is the whole selecting a player just so that they're eligible for another nation. I get it, but it's just petty and ridiculous. But hopefully these young ballers are much more wiser to see the games that England are playing, and that it's just some occasion in some situations it's not done for your best interest, it's done for England's best interest.
yeah, yeah. And yo, as I say, man, it would have pained my heart for sister this baller play a game for Jamaica already and end up representing England, because these sort of things have happened already. If memory
Yeah,
serves me right, Mikel Antonio played a game. He was in the World Cup qualifying squad. Him never make an appearance. But if memory serves me right, he played friendlies for them already for England. If memory
yeah,
serves me right,
he's been
Mikel
in the
Antonio has
England
played friendly.
setup before.
Hmm.
Formula, did you make Prince a moderator?
That's the thing. We have to go. Both of us have to go sit down and learn. 'Cause I don't know how to make somebody a moderator. I've never done it before.
All
So
right, yeah, Prince, we're gonna make you a moderator. There's some stuff that we
yeah,
need to do behind the scenes.
yeah, yeah. So why this person is saying that Paul Hall, I think a Eagle Republic, so Paul Hall a jump ship or something like that. I hope that they can sort out the Paul Hall contract situation. He was pressed about it in the press conference. He
Yeah.
did also say in the press conference that after this now they're going on a heavy recruitment drive.
Hmm.
So hopefully they can bring in, hopefully he can bring in some quality, especially at the right back position, and especially the CDM. All right, so yeah, man, Prince, the next stream you won't see the spamming. You won't see the spamming. We're gonna take steps to sort that out. See? So like like me, I forgot about a YouTube class. Yeah, man. Well, if I can learn a thing or two, why not? Why not? So, all right, guys, Crystal has to get out of here, and
Sorry,
get tucked
guys.
into bed. Crystal has a early morning tomorrow morning. It
Yep.
was good. This was good. It was the first collaboration of this nature that Crystal and I have done, and it had its challenges. It hasn't gone exactly how we wanted it to go. Um, the engagement on the live was much lower than usual because there's no tags on the video. And tags is a major thing. I mean, it's just the title basically on the video. No tags, no description, no nothing. So, but such is life. And then the internet causing problems. We had a late start as well. But such is life. Such is life. We'll continue to work on it and improve it for you guys going forward. Crystal, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, just like I said, thank you for being part of a pressing moment. Definitely thank you to you guys there for sitting with us for almost 2 hours whilst we test out the new tool. Hopefully, you guys like what you hear, and hopefully, on the next live stream, we'll make it better for you guys. But thank you for giving us a moment of your time and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, man, in it. All right. By the way, something where people always beat me for my hours, that's a right. So people always beat me for that. So in it, right on my word and in it, your word. Cool. All right. So guys, that's our 2 cents. Thanks for being with us here on this particular troubleshooting live, as I would like to call it. And you guys can look out for more content like this with Crystal and myself. With that being said, guys, take care, stay safe, and until next time.